Hey guys, it's Jessica and welcome back to the Sugar Crystal Kitchen. Today I'm going to be showing y'all how to make this very popular French pastry, how to make cream puffs. They have the most delicate texture and they are always filled with a variety fillings and they are one of my favorites. So I'm going to be sharing my recipe with you guys. So let's get right into it. So to begin, we will be making the choux pastry, and into a pot add in 3/4 of a cup and 2 teaspoons of water along with a pinch of salt and a whole stick or half a cup of unsalted butter. Then you want to sift your 1 cup of cake flour onto a sheet of parchment paper and set that aside. Now you want to bring your pot over to the stove and bring everything to a boil. Once it reaches a boil, you want to turn off the heat and remove the pot from the stove. And then you want to add in your cake flour and then stir vigorously on medium heat until your mixture begins forming a dough ball and the edges of the dough begin to peel away from the sides of the pot. You should also see a clear film forming on the bottom of the pot, and that is when you know to turn off the heat. Now you just want to let this cool for about 5 minutes to make sure your eggs don't scramble when you mix it in. Depending on the thickness of your dough when you're mixing it, you will need around 4 to 5 eggs. I used 5 eggs, but I began with 4 eggs here, and you just want to beat it together. Now I just transferred my cooled dough into the bowl of a stand mixer with a paddle attachment. With the mixer on low speed, I streamed down a little bit of the beaten egg at a time until it was fully absorbed. Then I added a little more, and don't worry if it starts looking like it's curdling because after a while it will come together. And when the dough started getting thinner, I just worked with it by hand to make sure that it didn't get too thin. And when it reaches the final stage, you want to add only a little bit of egg at a time to make sure that you don't make it runny. You know the dough is at the perfect consistency when it leaves a V shape when dropped from the spatula. Now I just placed the pate choux into a piping bag fitted with a round tip. Now onto a parchment lined baking sheet, pipe little rounds about 1.5 inches wide for your cream puffs. Make sure to swirl the top so that you don't form huge tips that will burn in the oven. But if you do have them, just take some water and dip your finger in it, then tap down those tips. Then just bake them off at 425 for 10 minutes to puff up, and then at 350 for another 13 to 15 minutes so that they dry out. During this time, make sure you do not open the oven or else they will deflate. After the cream puffs have finished baking, you have to make sure that they cool down completely before you go on to filling them. Before you fill the cream puffs, first mark an X with your knife just to make sure that the tip can fit into it. And when you're piping, you will know that the cream puff is filled when the filling starts oozing out. Then to decorate it, all I did was dip each cream puff in some melted bittersweet chocolate. But of course, you don't have to do that. You can also sprinkle them with some powdered sugar and they will look just as nice. And that's it for how to make these cream puffs. Of course, for pate choux, you could also make eclairs with this dough. But anyways, let me show you the inside of this. I love filling it with some whipped cream, but of course you can fill it with pastry cream and other fillings if you like. I can leave my recipe for pastry cream below, but thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time. Bye guys!